Hello everyone, it's Alexis with Create Your Future, and we're back today with another video. Today we have Anna joining us, who's a coach on our team and a law of attraction expert, and we are talking about a success story of one of Anna's clients who got unblocked. She got contact from her SP, and we're also going over how to deal with negative emotions when you're manifesting and within yourself. Before we get started, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Please hit the bell icon in the box below and you get notified every time we post new videos. So Anna, just say hello and let's talk about this.
Hello, everyone. The client I'm going to talk about, I have been working with her for a few months now. When she came to me, she was in this very anxious state. A lot of, I don't want to use the word bad, but a lot of opposing things have been happening, exactly the opposite of what she wanted with her SP. Third-party situation, no contact, being blocked. And they had contact at some point, which didn't go well. And again, she got into this anxious state of, I can't deal with this anymore. I don't know what to do. And well, we kept working on it. She kept persisting. She became more calm and relaxed and more confident. And a few days ago, she called me to tell me that after a few months of no contact at all and being blocked, out of the blue, she had received a message from her SP. Of course, she had been unblocked and received the message, and she replied to the message and didn't get anything bad. So she interpreted it as something gone wrong. What did I do wrong? Because this didn't go the way I wanted. And we came to the conclusion, I had to explain to her that this is a huge success story for her, because if I told her, do you remember you came to me, you were crying, not seeing things happen. Nothing was happening. If something was happening, it was the opposite of what you wanted. And now you got to the point yourself with your own mental work where you got yourself unblocked and you received a message that, like, you weren't the first one to reach out. You received the message. And she was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I see it now. I explained to her that this is a great movement. Like, it's a movement in the right direction. The fact that the conversation didn't go the way you wanted is okay. It doesn't matter, because circumstances don't matter. We keep saying it. You can go from here to the next step and the next step and the next step till you get the relationship. So when you see movement, and it's not exactly like it doesn't go from being blocked to being married, it's okay. I don't say it can't happen. It can, if you have the assumption that it can. Everything is possible. But if it doesn't, try to celebrate those small moments of movement, small things, because it's a sign of you going in the right direction.
Right, exactly. And I think that there's a little bit of a misconception sometimes with that. You know, if you're working really hard at doing your intentions and you're doing a lot of affirmations and you're really putting a lot of time into your affirming, which is what we encourage, not to the point of that it's overwhelming your whole life, but that really is what gets changed in your 3D reality. If perhaps you're doing that and then you get contact and it's like the SP doesn't come back on a white horse totally changed and they're not the exact representation and they're not the ideal version right away, then it frustrates people, and then it's like it's a backtrack, and then they're not realizing that the that manifesting really is a process, right? It's a process of intense focusing on your intentions no matter what happens, but we kind of want to put out and release the expectation that it's all going to happen perfectly at once, and that's the way it is for everybody, because that's not the way that it is for like 99.9% of people. I have to leave a 0.1% because we have to, because anything's possible. But, you know, for most people, this is how it happens. You get contact and it's like, oh my gosh, I manifested contact. Oh my God, he said what I didn't want him to say. What? Like, it's not working, but it still is, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. And it goes in different ways for everyone, but we kind of see the pattern. And as manifestation, well, we manifest on a 4D level because the work is mental. But the way it comes to you physically comes to you in a way that is natural to you, to your assumptions. So now if you absolutely don't have any resistance to relationships, to your person, to, I don't know, the situation, if you don't have any resistance, it can go from nothing to everything at once. This is usually why we manifest stupid things so easily, because we don't have resistance to it. But if you have a lot of resistance, like for example, in this situation where everything she didn't like happened, to be honest, and she was working with a lot of blocks, a lot of things kept coming up during the sessions. Then seeing something like this is, again, definitely in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, again, like Alexis said, everything is possible. You can go from the very horrible situation to exactly what you want in a day. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Sometimes I tell my clients, sometimes even when it seems it has gone completely wrong, can mean, again, a step in the right direction. Because sometimes, we don't know how manifestation comes to us. The how, and usually how long it takes, we don't control those. So when something seemingly negative happens, don't jump to the assumption that it's not working, I'm doing something. Maybe it's helping your manifestation. Always assume that your manifestation is coming, that it's something that is needed. So in a case like this, it didn't go the way she wanted. It actually did go in the way she wanted. She got unblocked. She got contacted out of the blue. She didn't have to reach out. All she was doing was affirming.
Right. Exactly. And I think another way that you can look at it too is that things have to somehow, some way rearrange themselves, and they have to reorganize themselves in your 3D reality. So oftentimes, if like let's take the example of like a third party, if you're intending for that person to meet someone else, kind of move out of the sphere of what you're experiencing in your awareness, then it might get worse, meaning that the third party might become more prominent, or something might get more prominent, like before it can fully change. Like it's almost like it gets worse before it gets better, but it's the molecular structure of your energetic reality like changing, because with your thoughts is the way that I like to think about it. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And it doesn't always have to get worse. Like it doesn't always happen the same way. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you don't see movement at all, and then manifestation comes. Sometimes you see a lot of signs. Sometimes you see a lot of opposite things happen. It's very important to realize what conclusions you jump to every time you see something, what meanings you give to the things, because we tend to make up stuff, overanalyze, and like assume that, oh, this happened, then it means that there's a third party, it means they're getting married. And usually say these things to me, I ask them, like, do you actually know? And then most times I find out it's just something they made up. It's just something they assumed. Right?
I know. This is interesting.
If you're assuming something, assume something that is good for you. If not, then leave it there. Something happened. It's okay.
Right.
Keep your mental diet straight.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, I think that because of potential years of negative thinking, it's like then the mind tries to like run wild still, and you guys just can't let it do that. Like, you have to be in control of your thoughts, even if it's so hard to do, because that's training you, and it's training a new system, and it's getting a new habit. So,
Exactly. We have been so well trained to react, and again to jump to conclusions, think logically. He did this, she did this. This means that X, Y, Z. You don't know. Always remind yourself that whatever I'm assuming is going to manifest. If I'm going to assume something, it's better I assume something that helps me. If you can't just naturally assume something good out of a bad situation, just affirm. Like, go where you know. Because like Alexis said, if you let your mind do its thing, it's going to go where it's been trained, and it's thinking negatively, it's remembering all the bad stuff, the hurtful things, and then you spiral down to this negative place where it's, if you don't stop it, it gets worse, it gets worse, the worse it gets, the worse it gets, and then you're in this place of where it all looks like black. You lost control, nothing's going right. In those moments with negative emotions, I usually don't recommend ignoring them, especially not suppressing them. Usually by ignoring them, you suppress them. Find ways to let it go, let it out of you, to express it in a way that works for you. Cry, write it down, work out, dance, something that gets you out of that state, and then affirm. Sometimes with some people, when they're in very negative state, affirming helps. With other people, it doesn't help. So everyone needs to find their way of conscious manifesting.
Exactly. And I mean, I think that's really good advice too, because that's like sort of a foundation for life and living, because the whole goal with the mental diet and you being the creator, it's and ignoring, or your 3D reality being fake news. It doesn't mean that we're encouraging you to ignore your feelings, be a doormat, do things that are outside your boundaries or outside of your comfort zone. So the way that I like to think about it is like, I just like having things for me to do that make me feel good. Like, Anna and I both love skincare, so we can talk about skincare and taking care of our skin for hours, because that's something both of us do for like our self-care. But that's kind of like me, Alexis, what I like to do is like, if I get into a negative state, then I know it's happening. I'm aware of it. I figure out what emotion am I processing through? How can I process through that emotion? What's the appropriate way to process through that? And then allow myself to feel what I'm feeling in my human experience. And then having things that relax me, that help me feel like I'm in, a feel good state, is just so important for all of us to have those go-to things. Like knowing how you recharge, knowing how you get back on track is really, useful to have for life and living, I think, overall.
Yes, definitely. But remember that just because you are getting yourself out of that state, it doesn't mean you're automatically manifesting what you want, because you are not overriding the old story by getting you out of a negative state. It's two different things, and you need to do both. And I hope this didn't sound like you need to do a whole lot of work, but sometimes it is, when you're in a negative state, if you keep suppressing it, it will keep staying in you and keep manifesting. So you want to find ways to get rid of it so that you can override the old story.
Right.
Sometimes, again, with some people, just by going to the end resolves the problem. It doesn't work with everyone. So just by feeling good, you're not manifesting. You need to override the program. So the mental diet is still important. Because again, you relax for a moment. If you're not used to doing the mental diet, your mind will run to where it's comfortable, and that is always the old story. Either the old story or reacting to something that just happened.
Right, exactly. And you just want to be careful with that, because like when I'm thinking about relaxing and taking care of myself, it's with the intention to get that it fosters the mental diet. And then I know that when I do do something, that it's easier for me then to be on my mental diet about a specific topic, about whatever it is. But it's not with like, oh, just self-care, go take care of yourself for the full day, go to the spa, forget what you're thinking, like put the mental diet aside. We're not saying that. It's to do it together so that you have like a system that, and also so that you know what works for you. Like some people recharge by being out with other people, going to the club, going out. Some people recharge by being at home. It's a classic like extrovert introvert argument or perspective. You just want to do what, like you want to think like, what helps me feel good? I'm going to do that thing, and then I'm going to get back on my mental diet as I'm doing that thing or after that thing, because I'll be in a better place, distracted, or I'll be in a new moment with new thoughts, because we go through what can feel so serious to us. Like a situation can feel so serious, and it can feel so real in our 3D reality. And then literally an hour or 20 minutes can pass, and you can talk to someone else. You can get distracted. You can go to the store. You can do something. And then all of a sudden your now moment it's like, I forgot it ever happened, right? It's like, oh my gosh, wait, what was that bad thing that happened? Oh, right. It's not here anymore. So, we go through so many states a day is what I'm saying.
Very true. And sometimes we get ourselves into that exact state that you were talking about that feels so real and horrible by making up stuff. Not only because something happened, right? It sounds funny, but I have been there. I know, but it's just like when you realize I am actually scared of something that didn't even happen yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if I keep myself in this state, dwelling on it on and on again and spiraling down, it will manifest. So talk yourself out of it. Like, mm-hmm. I say this to everyone, just by remembering the basics of manifestation. My thoughts create. What I put my attention on creates. What am I thinking about right now? I am fearing something that didn't happen. I don't know if it's happening. I don't know what's going on, but I just assume that something bad is really happening, and I feel bad and I spiral down. There's no use for you to dwell on it or try to overanalyze it or try to figure out. Some people are really, I think it's very important to figure out what their SP is doing, who they're with, where they are. It's not important for you to know anything for you to manifest. Sometimes it's even better to not have contact with them, to not know what they're doing, so that you can actually stay focused. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise you're just focusing on what's happening now, and you will you risk to keep manifesting mm-hmm. that. Instead of get rid of the person and then manifest them. Sometimes, you have them in your 3D and they're messing with your head and you're reacting and you can't stop reacting. You can't control your thoughts because you keep seeing them behave in a way that you don't like. Sometimes it's better to just keep distance and keep your focus. Otherwise, if you can deal with what 3D is showing, sometimes, if you can deal with it in a way that you see something that you don't like, and instead of reacting, going back and thinking, what assumptions do I have that manifested that? So good thing I figured that out. So now I can work on it. Mm-hmm. You can see it in different ways. Is that right?
Right. Totally. I like to always think about, wait, what thought did I have? What story did I have? What did I say? What did I think?
I do that too. Yeah.
And I think too, it's like going on what you said previously about, needing to know everything. Like, you guys also don't want to be micromanaging your specific person or micromanaging and like picking apart everything that they said. And, I think that we've been kind of trained to do that. Like, what did he say? Tell me everything he said. Like, women do that with women where they gossip like about guys, or I think men do that too, actually, from what I've seen. And like, you just kind of don't want to do that. Like every little thing that someone says and someone does doesn't matter. It doesn't always mean what, and like you're usually when people are doing that, they're giving it such a negative meaning. It's like, Alexis, but he said this. Wait, I need an intention because he said this. And I'm like, no, you don't. You need to ignore like some of the things he says. Cause like, and if you're not able to do that and you have, then potentially you have he or she on a pedestal because you're so like hyper focused on like, what's their body language? What are they doing? What are they saying? You know, instead of just experiencing the moment, you know? Yeah. So, you know, moral of the story is though that you guys can get unblocked, you can get contact from your SP, but just have the perspective of being in your manifestation until it's fully manifesting, because there really isn't ever an end. Like, think that you're always going to, hopefully, once you know your thoughts create, be affirming for your SP to do something. So like, it doesn't stop. Like, we're not doing this like mental diet to like get in the relationship and then we don't do it anymore. It's like this whole thing. It's being a conscious creator of your reality in your quantum bubble, because you're the only one that can be, you know, right?
Exactly. And about what you said about the gossiping and the friends, remember that when we say everyone is you pushed out, literally everyone is you pushed out. So when your friend, your best friend comes in and gives you some advice or tells you he's not good for you, just leave him because he did this, he did that. The same goes for them as for your SP. Like, what assumptions do I have that they are reflecting back to me? My friend with her beep advice or, you know, whatever they're telling you. So everyone is you pushed out, and just take things as messages, as your inner world reflecting back to you. So it's not that all my friends think that he or she is like that, so I don't know if I should keep manifesting them. That's because you have that assumption. Everyone is reflecting that back to you.
Yeah, it's all just you.
Moral of,
yeah.
Sorry, again. Yeah, I was just repeating what you said. Moral of the story: keep your attention on your end goal till you get it, and then you will get a new end goal. Again, it's never finished, but just keep your attention in that one place. And also with the micromanaging, and I need affirmations for this and that. If you just keep your focus on your end goal, you don't need to micromanage the middle. It will solve itself. You don't need to find ways.
Exactly. Yeah. So keep it simple. Stay on your mental diet. Get unblocked. Deal with negative emotions. Get that contact, guys, because it's possible. Yeah. So like I always say, the link for booking one-on-one coaching with Anna is in the box below, because what I do know is that doing your mental diet all on your own is a little bit difficult. Anna has great advice for clients to get results. She'll tell you the right intentions when you need them and give you the right support and that pep talk that will keep you on track for sure. And actually today, just a reminder too, that we are having a really big contest until we reach 100,000 subscribers. Every time that you post a comment on one of our videos about how law of attraction has helped you change your life, you get put into a pool of people that we're picking for 3 coaching sessions for free. So comment away, and thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye.